John Murtagh, class of 1978. My brother went to Fordham Prep, so really I first learned about Fordham Prep when I was 4 years old. And I've been going there, I hate to say it, that means 50 years I've been hanging out at Fordham Prep. Like anything else, my first impression was, I was very nervous and this place was huge, but very quickly and frankly I think it's because of the way the prep does things with mentor groups and mentors and everything else, I very quickly made a little group of friends. And 4 years later, the school that I was very nervous about the first week, it killed me to graduate 4 years later because I loved it so much. Well, I've kidded and said if only they had a grammar school, I never would have had to go anywhere else, because I went to Fordham Prep and then I went all the way across the street to Fordham College for 4 years. Took a year off and went to Fordham Law School. So there's plenty of maroon there. A triple RAM, I think they technically call it. And I've been a practicing attorney for 28 years. But I sort of got a little away from Fordham Prep. I mean, other than the annual football game or the annual reunion, just because I was busy with college and law school and married life and starting a family. But then fast forward, I got out in '78, and fast forward to the fall of 2001, and my older son started as a freshman at the prep, and I walked into the Commons. It was like I never left. One of the things to me that makes Fordham Prep a special place is that, the way I encapsulate it when I tell people this story, and I do tell them, is that my Latin teacher freshman year was my son's Latin teacher senior year. And some people might look at that and say, there's dead wood or whatever. I don't look at it that way. I think that speaks to the dedication of the faculty at the prep, to the traditions of the school, which to me are one of the most important things, and one of the things that really makes it a special place is the history and the tradition. And I have no doubt that in another generation there'll be people teaching my grandchildren who probably taught my sons. Fordham Prep, and I dare say any Jesuit school, it teaches you a way of thinking, it teaches you a way of looking at life. The Jesuit philosophy, and maybe I'm overstating it, but I have a feeling that somebody who studied under Loyola 400 or 500 years ago might say, yeah, you know what, it trained me in a certain way. But there's a literally centuries old Jesuit tradition of how to educate, a centuries old Jesuit tradition of service and mission and everything else that you can't help but sort of get bathed in it for 4 years in high school, and in my case for 4 years in college. And that's going to impact and affect, I think, your whole life, absolutely.